Welcome back. Here we are ready to start another section on this video of this stocking. So we are getting ready to start the next piece, and here is the picture. And it says that the next piece we are to sequin and applique the flames to the stocking. I think this is where we start really building some things and it starts really getting fun. Okay, so number 5 is right here. It's this flame piece. So as always, I'm cutting it away from the other pieces. I always keep everything in my box. It is so easy to, when you start cutting these different pieces apart, to end up not being able to find the piece you need because it got stuck to something and now it's not with where it should be. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this piece out. Here we go. All right, so it says to cut it out. And then we need to apply the sequins and then applique it to the stocking. So it says that the sequins are the yellow. It's the half black, half white symbol. Half black, half white. Oh, gold sequins. Okay, some places they call them gold, some places they call them yellow. So this kit refers to them as gold. So we will be threading up a bead needle. And because I keep the leftover sequins from all the kits I've done, I label my container. If they call them gold, then I put them in the gold container. If they call them yellow, and some of them do, I put them in the yellow container. I have dumped them out and tried to separate them. I can at times see some differences, but honestly, I don't see too many differences. But anyway, that's how I keep them separated. Be right back. Okay, I've got my bead needle all threaded up with the gold thread, and I've got my lid with some clear beads here, and my gold sequins here. Now, I know so many people have asked me, where did I get these dishes? I know that I can tell you I got them at Michael's, but it was many years ago, and I've gone back and looked, and I can't find them anymore. They have an R with a heart, and it says trademark. And when I turn it over, it's very hard to read, but it says something that, and which doesn't help me with the R. I think it says FLAMBEAU, Flambeau Inc., USA, and then it says made in China, and then over here it says not microwave or dishwasher safe. So they're not for food, but they are wonderful containers, and if you want to find them, and you do find them, please let us know, because I've had so many viewers ask, and I have not had any success in finding them. But I am not an internet whiz kid by any stretch of the imagination, so I'm sure that some of you probably would get much farther than I in hunting them down. Oops. I think from here on out we're going to start getting really fun, because we're no longer working on background pieces. We're going to start really putting the stocking together now, and I think you will feel that this goes so much faster. So this is exactly as we have put on all the other sequins, coming up right in the center of the dot, getting a sequin and dropping it down on the needle. Hang on to it, and yeah, I wish I could. I cut my fingernails this morning, and now I have nothing to hang on to them with. There we go. And then you pick up a bead and go back through. And we just keep going along until we have all of the dots covered with sequins. And so I will come right back. It shouldn't take too long. There aren't too many sequins here. I will come right back and show you it finished, and then we'll do the next steps together. All right, here it is with all of its sequins on, and you might be able to see that some of the sequins, especially over here, have some difference in color. Sometimes that's just how they are in the package. Sometimes it could be because of how I've mixed them in with others, but I really like it. I just picked them up randomly, and I like the fact that it kind of adds a little bit of depth to what I'm working on here. So now back to work. Sequin and applique the flames to the stocking. So we are doing nothing but just pinning this on. See, here's the 5. This is number 5. To get it lined up just right. And it looks like it's right there. This line comes in and lines up with that line. Can you see that? I may not have it in the center, but I can see that this is going to line in right with that. So that means that's in the right place. And okay, looks like it's covering up everything it's supposed to be covering. And then I'm going to use the same golden floss here, but in an embroidery needle. so that I can applique stitch this down. Again, cut my fingernails this morning. Now I'm having to remember how to work without fingernails. I usually don't have any fingernails, so it should come back to me. Okay. And get an embroidery needle here. And it's a single strand for applique, so I'm going to knot only one strand. Oops. And oops, come up from the back. I'm going to start right here. And again, I only need to go through one layer of felt. I do not need to go all the way through to the back of the stocking. And I like to get my pins out of the way. Yep. Here's my assistant. I better get my beads and things put away, or he will help. Oh. He's such a helpful boy. Yeah, I know. I know. I do have such a large number of beads and sequins of almost every color that I don't have to be too concerned about if I lose some, because I will have plenty. That just comes from doing stockings for years and years. Okay, gold is put away. These are the beads. When the beads fall, Finnegan, for some reason in his old age, he's become fascinated with the heads of my pins, and he likes to grab them and my needles and pull them out and just drop them wherever he is. So, I found pins laying around occasionally, which I try to be very, very careful not to drop pins. It's no fun to step on one in your bare feet on the carpet. Okay, so I'm going to just keep going all the way around here like this, and all the flames, and I will come back. All right, there's the first layer of the flame in the fireplace. Doesn't that look pretty? I love it. And it says number 6 is next. That looks like it's red. Sequin. Oh, we did that. Number 5, I didn't check it off. Oh, my favorite thing. I love to check off. Okay. Applique the flames 6 to the stocking. So really, we're looking for a red flame, and all we're going to do is cut it out and sew it down. So let's see if we can find it here. That looks like it's it right there. Okay. Okay, now let's get this cut out, and then we just stitch it down. Pieces are coming faster and more furious. Okay, there it is. Let's pin it in its spot. Right there, it looks like. And I can see that this line for my piece number 7, which I think is the log, lines right up there. So that is perfect. And I can see that this line lines up here. I don't know if you can see those too well. And there's a line here, and there's a line here. That's for kind of the, I think it's the fireplace grate. It looks a little bit like a fence to me, but I know it's not. It's got to be a fireplace grate. Yeah, I think that's good enough. We just need a red embroidery needle threaded up here. And then we will applique this piece down. And we are just moving right along. For details on how I organize my thread sorter and my needles and things like that, you can tune into my How to Get Started video. There's usually a link to it in each of my videos. I usually link to that one because it seems to be the most helpful for people. And that'll go over with you how I handle my thread and my needles. It is so helpful to have it organized and easy to grab and know what you're grabbing. I'm actually, for the first time, I think ever, working on 2 stockings at the same time. I have the client that I'm making this stocking for and the previous stocking. I'm making a 3rd stocking for. Actually, we had a total of 7 when I finish these 3 that I will have made for her. And the one one of the 3 that I'm working on, I've already made a video of making it, so I've also made the kit before. So I'm doing that one off camera. And so I've had to kind of make do with, like, the only floss that I have on this floss sorter is the floss for this stocking that I'm working on right here. So I had to make another floss sorter out of just the, it's really easy to do. Just use the cardboard from the kit, cut a strip off, and cut some slits in it, and slide your floss into the slits. But it's not as nice and neat as this floss sorter is. So I'm spoiled, I guess I should say. But her family is expecting twins, and so we need these kits done before September. So we're working full steam on them, because like I've said, I know before in this video that these make such amazing, wonderful gifts for babies or young children, because it really does become a gift of a lifetime, kind of your whole life. So funny, when my husband and I got married, and our families gave us the stockings that we had as children, and they were felt stockings with felt pieces and sequins and glitter glued on. And believe it or not, they were still around. And that's what inspired us to look for felt stockings to make for our own children. And to this day, I still put up my husband and I's stockings when I put up the stockings for all the kids. So it can be a lifelong gift, and it certainly inspired my projects here. And of course, in order to make your stocking last forever, of course I don't know if they'll last forever, but last for a long time, I keep them laying flat. Always have, even before I knew what to do. But I did look up some information on textile preserving from the Smithsonian Institute. There was great information there. I used that information to make the video that I made on textile preserving and storage. And so one of the most important things for the stockings is that they're stored flat. And so I always gift them in a box that actually, it's a flat box from anywhere. Just I flatten it so the stocking lays flat in it, and I wrap the stocking in archival tissue paper so that any acid or anything from the cardboard in the box will not damage the stocking or the fabric. And then I encourage everybody that I gift that to use that as the storage method for the stockings for as long as they have them. So that's piece number 6. Here we go. Embroider and applique the log 7 to the stocking. So the log is right here behind the what I call the fence, but it's the grate, and it's a 7, and it's got these dashes, the heavy dashes, which are right here, and it's going to be brown, not dark brown, not red brown, but brown. Okay, so I need to go to my browns over here. Light taupe, brown. I think these are my brown, or these red brown, and this is brown, and this is dark brown. So I'm going to be using this one. And I saw that piece just a minute ago here. Here it is, right there, right here. So we're going to be doing an outline stitch with this brown floss. Ooh, I better cut these other two things off, or else I'll lose them. They look like they must go to the teddy bear. And as you can see, as you get into the pattern, you end up with some, rather small pieces, which is why I always go back and place them in the box that I keep everything in for one particular kit. That way I know that my pieces are all in there and all together. Excuse me, needed a drink. Okay, going to cut this out and then do the outline embroidery stitch here. You might think, gosh, there's an awful lot of detail in these things. Couldn't you just throw this piece of brown down and call it the log, and it's going to be behind the grate and Santa's feet and other things that are down on the ground you would never notice. But that, in fact, may be true. But one of the things that really keeps me doing this brand of kit is the detail work. I just think that they excel in getting all those details that make it more fancy. I wouldn't say more real, because it's not real. Everybody knows it's not real. But it does lend, I don't know, just more depth, more challenge, more caring to the project. So so I love doing all the details. There are some, I would have to say, my least favorite thing is when there's a lot of satin stitch on a face. I have always found that when I always feel that when I'm doing it, it's just not going to look good. But when I finish and I've got the face completed, I am always amazed at how I like it. So try to be patient with yourself and just see how it goes. Just keep going one stitch at a time and allow yourself the grace to keep working on it and to wait and see. Because I am always amazed at how great the faces look when I'm done, even though when I'm looking at them up close and everything, I am just not feeling it sometimes, and actually a lot of times. So so don't be discouraged. Just keep going and see how you feel at the end. Okay, you can see this piece is really loving to catch my floss edges. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this outline stitch on the rest of these lines, and then I will come back and we'll stitch it down. We're just really making progress. All right, there is that little piece, the log, and you can see by the 8s that it does help us to, I guess it wouldn't matter if it was upside down because 8s are kind of 8-ish upside down or right side up, but the bigger circle is down at the bottom, so we'll put it on there correctly. And it does look like there's a little bit of this, the background of the fireplace that does show down under there, so there we go. I want to just double check. Don't think we do anything. Embroider and applique the log. Okay, so there's no stuffing. That's usually what I'm looking for is, do we need to add any stuffing to make these things more 3D? We haven't done any stuffing yet so far, but we will. Trust me. Sorry, forgot to bring the microphone down into range, but we will be stuffing things here. Don't worry. So I'm going to start kind of in the center of this and then go all the way around, just like always. I'm using the light taupe yarn, or floss I should say, for stitching this down. Okay, I won't bore you any longer with this stitching, and I will come back when I've got it finished. Okay, it's exciting. We get to check off another box. Log 7. Now it says embroider and applique the fireplace screen number 8 to the stocking. And that screen is going to be this light color like the mantle is, I think. It's number 8. Let's see if we can find that. Yep, here it is, hiding right under here. Okay, so we're going to cut that out, and it says that we need to embroider it. So let's see, what are we embroidering here? Okay, we are embroidering these lines right here, and here, here, and here, and here, but not there. That looks like it's going to be behind Santa. And it's got black dots. So let's see, what do the black dots indicate? They are taupe. 2 strands, outline stitch, 2 strands of the taupe. Not the light taupe, but the taupe right here. So, yeah, because you don't see it too much. If you look at the picture, it does confirm that that is taupe, not anything darker. Okay, let's get that cut out and embroidered and ready to be placed on the stocking. This will probably take me a bit to cut because there is a lot of angles here. So I'll just show you some of the cutting, and then I'll cut out and cut out, and then come back. If you ever start noticing when you're cutting that the edge of your piece where you cut seems to look kind of fuzzy, that can be because your scissors need a little sharpening, and you can call over to your local fabric store. We have a Joann Fabrics not too far from us, and they offer sharpening, scissor sharpening, and knives and all kinds of things, anything you need to sharpen, at their sharpening event, which happens once a month. So you just have to find out in your local area how that works. I would call either your craft store or your fabric store and find out if they have a sharpening event. It's amazing. I find that felt is very hard on my scissors, and you wouldn't think so. It's not woven. You'd think it'd be pretty easy cut, and it wouldn't affect your scissors all that much, but it really does. At least it does mine. And it's so wonderful to get them back after being sharpened, and they are just such a pleasure. When sometimes I probably let mine go too long, usually too. If I get them sharpened a little bit more regularly, I wouldn't probably notice such a big difference when I get them back. But you do have to make sure that you're buying scissors that can be sharpened if that's your plan. Gingers are what I buy, and they are all sharpenable. And I pay, I think it's $7 a pair to have them sharpened, especially these small ones. The larger ones might be $9 now, I can't remember. But it's definitely worth the time, and who doesn't? What crafting person doesn't enjoy spending a half an hour to an hour inside their craft store or their fabric store where they're getting their scissors sharpened, just milling around and looking at stuff that you didn't know was there? So that's always fun. Here's my taupe. I find it not only fun and enjoyable, but very, very difficult to not spend money. So, and I'm going to do this, a little reminder here. This is going to be edge to edge. So here we go. I can see you now. I'm going to start in right here. So not right on the edge, but in just a little bit. Go all the way around and come up. Can you see where I'm going to come up just kind of in between the edge and my other stitch right there, and that will cover over the edge completely. And now you can continue with your stitch till you get to the other side, and this is going to be a challenge because of all these little narrow legs there that the floss wants to grab onto. And then now I'm at the end, so I'm going to go all the way around and come up right where I left off and go through, and then I come back across to just the other side and tack it down. And there we have one of the taupe stitches. So I'm going to go on and do all the rest because they'll all be exactly the same. And we'll come back when it's time to pin and stitch. And this is going to be a big stitching because we've got a lot of edge to stitch down. Okay, so we'll be back. Okay, now you can see that embroidered, and let's lay it on the stocking where it goes. That's right like that, and those are going to line up right at the edge of that brown there. Oops. So when I'm stitching these down, I want to be sure they come right to the edge of the fireplace, the backing of the fireplace there. Can I pin this one here? And now the last one over here. There we go. Okay, you can see how that lines up right there. And then it's the embroidery stitch, and I am going to use that light taupe, and because that's what I used all around here. I'll use the light taupe with an embroidery needle. I think it could be tempting to think, oh, I don't need to go around every one of those. But God bless you to my husband if you can hear him sneezing. He's sneezing out in the other room. But I have never, unless it indicated, sometimes it indicates stitch with just a few small stitches. Then I know they don't expect me to go all the way around. But this one does say to applique it down. Embroider and applique the fireplace screen to the stocking. So it doesn't say just a few small stitches or anything like that. So we are going to go around every edge and then down and around on this side, so that the whole thing is appliqued down. So I'm going to start down here at the base of this first one. And again, you do not have to go all the way through to the back of the stocking. You are just simply attaching it to the piece below. Okay, I think you've got the right idea. I will come back and show it to you when we've got it all stitched down.